is going on, everybody? This is Rank-Dogg here for Aces Axes doing our first Tone Zone interview. Interview where we get to talk to some musicians traveling through Syracuse to see how they make their pizza. There's a million different ways to make it. Everybody's got a different version of cheese, basil, and everything like that. And being a musician, we all have our things that we want to add to the sauce. Today we have the new noise out of Boston, Massachusetts, coming through Syracuse here. My man Jeff at the end. Hello! My man Jeff at the end is actually from here locally, so it's great to have him back in town.
Very
guys,
happy to be back.
you guys rocked out tonight. Sold out show almost here at the
Night Drop.
The Night Drop here in Syracuse, New York. Doing this after the show, I got to hear some awesome amps that these guys are exclusively using by Judge Amplification. And yeah, just some quick questions about their rig and what guitars they use and why they use them. So we're gonna start with the rhythm player and lead singer, Jeff St. Germain, down at the end. Welcome, Jeff.
What is up? Thank you so much for having us, man.
Dude, this is awesome, dream come true. So for the first guitar on the channel, we don't have a Strat, we don't have a Tele, we have a blue Rickenbacker.
A blue Rick. We have here, so this is an 87 Rickenbacker 620. This thing it's an absolute workhorse. It's beat up, it's played, it's everything you kind of want a Rick to be. It doesn't really do the jangly thing anymore. I've kind of modded it a little bit. I don't know how much you can see of this, but
we do have some still shots that we took earlier, so I'll make sure we show
you in a minute. But those will be shown here. But what I did is remove the Rico sound, which is the dual output. Got rid of that because I don't use it. I'm a meat and potatoes rhythm player.
Awesome.
Simple as that. I wanted a Les Paul setup and a Rickenbacker. So why not just make that?
Nice.
So that's kind of what we got. I run Ernie Ball 10 to 52s.
Standard tuning?
No, we are a half step down, actually.
Awesome, awesome. Great rock and roll tuning right there.
Half step down, 1052, a little bit thicker for that low end. We do a decent amount of chugging, and it's just
You
nice.
said Ernie Ball strings?
I am an Ernie Ball player through and through.
Awesome. What kind of picks? Dunlop, I'm guessing?
Dunlop Tortex green.
Oh, the green Tortex.
If you don't go Dortex, you're not doing it right. I hate to tell you, Dunlop, give me more free ones. Send them.
I like that. I like that. And right next to him, we've got the lead guitar player, Matt. Matt does have a little bit more of a normal looking guitar, but when you look under the hood, every single thing has pretty much been modded. So yeah, we've got a Stratocaster here, but yeah, definitely not your typical Strat. So why don't you tell us what you've done to this bad boy?
Sure. So this one's a little bit all over the place. I swapped out the bridge for a Floyd Rose rail tail so I can do some nasty dive bombs. That's always a whole bunch of fun. Lindy Fralin pickups. Shout out to Lindy Fralin.
Very high-end stuff.
Pretty awesome pickups.
Amazing.
So we got a big single up here, which is like a giant single coil, great for leads on the neck pickup, and then up here we got the modern PAF. All the rest of the electronics are pretty standard, and then one-piece replacement maple neck.
Roasted maple.
Roasted maple.
Roasted maple.
We all love the roasted
We
maple.
love the roasted maple.
But
Just like
other than
coffee.
that, it's the same as his. So it's 10 gauge strings, tuned half step down.
Awesome.
Standard.
Ernie Ball also?
Ernie Ball also, and green Tortex all day.
Green Tortex all around. We absolutely love
Dunlop,
that.
you have a band that plays nothing but the greenies.
So I'm sure they could use a couple dozen, 100, whatever you want to send them.
T3s, please.
And I did notice that on his Strat, he had changed the volume knob, a little bit of the placement, and I wanted him just to kind of show that real quick because I thought it was super cool, and we all got that little pinky that sometimes can waver, and he was saying that he has the same problem also, so I just wanted to kind of show that off really quick.
I was a Les Paul player for the longest time, and so always having my hand palm muting here, this hand, and I kept hitting these volume knobs, and there's actually a...
It's called the DeLong placement. So all the Blink-182 fans out there, Tom, when he was doing his signature Strats, he had the same issue, but he decided that instead of having the 3 in line like most Strats, we're going to take that volume knob from here and we're going to move it over there so you don't hit it. And I got, even on my own Strats, I've done the DeLong placement for years. It's just, it fixes the issue of a heavy-handed Strat player. basically.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah,
It really does.
And it looks awesome, and if it's functionable, then that's all that matters. It does help that Jeff at the end is a repair person also, so always nice to have one of those in your band so you can do fun modifications like that and everything like that.
You're welcome.
So, like I had said, they exclusively use these awesome amps. Fun fact, the guy that makes them is actually the drummer in the band, which is a super cool thing. So I didn't know, we don't have the pedal board set up right now. But Thank you for this brief intermission. We weren't able to discuss their pedal boards when we had them out earlier. Luckily, we had a in-depth discussion with them, and I got some pictures taken, so I will send you through their signal chain right now, and we will get right back to the interview. As you can see, Jeff is starting off with a buffer, which heads into a TC Electronics Century noise gate that heads to a Judge fuzz and then onto a Source Audio Atlas compressor. His two overdrive/distortions are a J-Rocket Urger Clean and a Warm Audio ODD box. The last three pedals are all heading through the TC Electronics Century send and return, acting as an effects loop. Those would be a Siren Sub-Decay pitch vibrato, a Music Go Round 30th Anniversary repeater, and a Boss RV5. Matt's rocking a wireless system, currently the Boss WL60, that heads into a Peterson Strobo Stomp HD and then a Boss PS6 Harmonist, onto a Throwbox Overdrive Boost, then a ARC Effects Clone Overdrive. The dope green pedal is a Black Arts Tone Pharaoh Supreme Drive/fuzz pedal onto a Boss BF3 Flanger, then a Boss Wazacore CE2W, and last but not least, a Earthquaker Avalanche Run stereo reverb and delay. Thank you guys for this brief intermission. Back to the interview. Right now, but I was really hoping maybe we could just go into depth with these amplifiers. They sound fantastic. The way that I want to describe them was, I heard basically if America made a Vox and just basically cranked it up is kind of what I heard from them. My personal opinion and everything, but they sound fantastic. I can't wait to hopefully get to play one myself at some point and everything like that. But let's start with the one on top, which is the one Matt here is using. We're only going to start with that because it's on top and it's a little smaller, so I figure we'll go with that one first.
Sure. So it's GD20, it's a 20-watt amplifier. It's based on a Marshall GCM 800 circuit.
For all you Slayer fans out there.
But I've been told that a few things have been changed on it. It's pretty low gain, but you start pushing the front end of that and it just screams. It's wild. So we prototyped that out for a while, and now you can get it at judgeamps.com.
Awesome. And is it 20 watts? Is the 20 because of wattage or just the name?
20
Awesome.
watts.
Awesome. And it sounded huge. Nothing was mic'd up here tonight, and the room was completely filled with these two amps and everything like that. So for all you tube amp players out there, we all know 20 watts can be almost too much at some point and everything like that, but sounded fantastic. Was still nice and clean on stage, which is what you want, where sometimes the lower wattages you don't get that. And on the bottom of it, a little bit bigger boy, it looks like, used by Jeff down here.
Yeah. So this is a one-off. So the S100B was originally made as a bass amp, but has voicings for both guitar and bass.
Awesome.
So I am I'm a big fan of getting a lot of your tone from pedals, but I like to have that the amp on the edge of breakup. So kind of the AC/DC thing, the Angus Young thing. You get the amp on the edge of breakup.
If it works for them, it works for us.
Exactly, man. You get the amp on the edge of breakup, and then you drive it. Like, that's just that quintessential sound, at least in my head. So this guy is, it's kind of a blend of a couple things. It's got some components of like a Sun Model T, others of like a matchless, I think it's the AC series, I believe they're called. Whatever their Vox style was. And then it's just got some weird capacitors and diodes that Bob likes to use, because He's a genius in every single which way, shape, and form. KT88 output tubes.
Ooh, big boys.
Oh, they're gigantic.
Big boys.
So this is actually, this is a 100-watt amp, and I don't know if you can zoom in far enough on that. That is as loud as I can get this amp.
And that is at maybe two. Maybe two, folks.
And if I didn't have a channel volume, there would be no... it would be things. So it's basically a Sun Model T with a gain stage is basically the way that I like to describe this amp.
Nice and loud.
Oh, it's loud and it is crystal clear.
I would wish we had a little bit bigger venue or we could crank up, but it's kind of late and we'd probably all get arrested. But I would love to hear that thing. I love a Plexi personally, so all of those master volume amps are awesome in my opinion. And you were saying you have 6v6s in the one that you were using, correct?
Yeah, well, it's based off of the 800 circuit, so usually you think EL34, right? But we want to do something a little different, so we changed to 6v6s, and it's a little bit more... I think it's a little bit more clear sounding. It's more articulate.
I'd agree with that.
And a little more glassy, and it's... yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I can't say enough.
They sound fantastic. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if it sounds good, what more do you really need to say? And I'm just going to tell you, I've sold amps and everything for 15 plus years, and these things are unbelievable. Considering they can go from their crystal clean tone that they went to not a hardcore chug, but definitely something to make the bodies moving. These things handled them all and crystal clear the entire way. So if you're looking for something a little bit different amp-wise, I would definitely check out Judge Amps. I know I am going to after this is all said and done. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for sticking around after the show to have this awesome interview. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much for having us.
Dude, this has been dream come true. And the fact that he works in a music store, always like to get his opinion on gear because you're around it all day long. So if you're around it all day long and you choose to play certain things, there's usually a reason. So, look forward to many, many more interviews. We're going to try to do some on stage. I like this outdoor atmosphere. We're just going to do lots of music stuff for you guys. So once again, please, thank you guys so much for welcoming the New Noise. The CD is going to be released end of the summer.
That's the goal,
hoping.
man. It's recorded. It's in mixing at the moment.
Please go listen and download Subcon, the new single. It's been in my head all week long. Makes me feel like it's the summer of '99 all over again, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, dude, thank you guys so much. This
Absolutely,
has been
man.
awesome, and please listen for them when the album comes out. Buy it, download it, show it to all your friends, and rock on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Fuck yeah, I think we did it. I think that's good enough.
That
I
was
think, right?
fucking great.
Yeah, dude,
That was
dude,
awesome.
this